I'm Tiffany with Peachy Designs. In this month's Procreate lesson, we're making something for all the sports mamas out there. I'll show you how to put together this design using Procreate and some clip art, but you can totally make it your own using your own team colors, changing the text, swapping out some elements, whatever works best for you. Whether you're designing for a shirt, a tumbler, game day sticker, or just something cute that you want to keep on your iPad, this is a really fun one to create and even to personalize. I think it's always more fun when there's a challenge involved, so we'll be doing one with this lesson too, and I'm going to share all the details at the end, so be sure to stick around for that. If you're new here, welcome. Every month I share a free Procreate lesson to help you get creative and grow your design skills, even if you're just starting out. You're going to find all the links below, so make sure to download the clip art pack before you get started. And if you're new to all of this, or you want to dive in a little bit deeper to Procreate, be sure to check out my Procreate Essentials course. It's made for beginners. It walks you through using clip art, building patterns. It tells you about POD so that you can actually create real products, even if you don't have all the equipment. The Procreate course is really going to help you make designs that you can do something with, whether it's for fun or if later down the road you decide you want to sell them. If you want more clip art pieces like the ones in this lesson, that's what the Clip Art Club's for. There's monthly bundles, tons of variety, and everything's hand drawn. It's a great way to start designing without having to learn to draw too. All right, grab your iPad, open up Procreate, and let's start creating. Okay. So let's get started. We are going to be making this cute. My heart is on that field design and kind of a proud sports mama design. You can follow along exactly so that you can get the feel of how to do it. And then I really encourage you to just get creative and kind of make your own thing. So the first thing you want to do, if you have not already, is you're going to want to download the clip art package that comes with this. I provided several of the moms. They'll have some different skin tones, some different shirt colors. I don't have all of the hair color variations, but if you do know how to do that, you are welcome to edit that. But it's not something I'm going to go over in this lesson here. All right, so once you have downloaded everything, so you can see here, these are going to be the different elements that are going to be in this package. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to tap that plus sign up at the top. You are going to tap this second plus button here to create a new canvas. I am going to change this from pixels to inches, and then I will set my canvas size at 12 inches by 12 inches. Then you are going to want to make sure it's set to 300 DPI. This is going to give you the best resolution. You can always make that smaller if you needed it for something else. And I will just show you, I do have it on an RGB color profile, but that's already set up as a standard on mine. When I did that, it changed that. Okay, then you're just going to tap this little blue check up at the top, and that is going to set up and open up your new canvas for you. So you have a blank canvas. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to import some of the elements to create our design. I'm going to show you how to import them. Before you are able to do this, you will have needed to not only download the file, save it somewhere that you can get it, but if it's saved to your file folder, you will have needed to open that prior to doing this step, because then when you do this, you pop up in your docking station down here and it has already been opened. You're going to hold. Sometimes it can be a little tricky, but you just are going to hold and drag that over, and then it's going to create this split screen for you. And then you can select whichever of the sports moms that you want. Before we let's grab our background circle first. So I'm going to take and click and hold and drag that over. So I'm grabbing this circle, this background circle. All right, perfect. And then in order for it to let me to select more, I have to just tap on modify and then click the arrow button so that I can grab a couple other things that I want to bring in. I'm going to grab the red t-shirt mama here, and we'll click and hold. So I'm tapping on her. I'm using my finger. You can use your pencil, but you're just going to click on it, drag, click, hold, and drag it over to your canvas. Grab the heart, and I'm going to drag that over as well. All right, so we are done with this. So I am going to X out of it because this is all of the elements we're going to use. And then it has made this, it minimized the screen. The new update kind of changed up the way that things work just a little bit. So I'm just going to not minimize. I want to maximize that screen again. Okay, so I'm going to show the layers here. You can see we have these 3 layers and we have our background image. So we're just going to kind of move these things around a little. I'm going to take and click on the mom here, or the mama, whatever you want to call her. And I'm going to slide her over a little bit. And then I'm going to tap on our background element layer. And if you need to reorder these, all you have to do is you tap the layer and then you drag it. Try again. Tap the layer and then you drag it up, and that's going to change the order of your layers. So we do need this in the very back, but if you drug your stuff over in a different layer, that's how you rearrange it so that what you are wanting to see is on the top. Okay, so we're going to grab this background layer. I'm going to tap our selection tool, and I am going to move my background element over just a little bit. You do want to be careful because if you drag it outside, it will cut it off if you drag it off of the canvas. And I do not want to do that. I want to make sure that I have it all intact here. All right, and then I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab the heart and I'm going to make it just a little smaller. Actually, I don't really want it any smaller. I'm going to make it the same size. Drag it over here. Okay, and then I may end up rearranging this just a little bit and changing some of the sizes just a little as I go on. But I'm going to go ahead and we are going to add the text for this, and that way we have everything that we want to work with. So you're going to tap your wrench tool, and we are going to add text. So let me do that again. Wrench tool, and then add text. See, I think that, sorry about the screen kind of dimming there on you. All right, so now we have our text layer. If you look right here, you can tap and you can say edit text, and it's going to pop up a little menu at the bottom. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the key to show the keyboard. I'm going to double tap so that it'll select that because I want to replace my or text with the word my. And okay, we are going to now, we're going to edit the style of this text. So for this, again, I'm going to double tap so that it has it. You can kind of see it highlights it in blue. And I'm going to turn on the all caps for this. And then if you guys have taken many of the lessons, you know I love Alicia Ray and I love everything about her. She's got great fonts, great brushes. Her art is amazing, but I'm going to be using her font. It's called Juniper. You can find her stuff in her Etsy shop. I'm pretty sure maybe she has a website too, but Alicia Ray, I know she's on Etsy. So we've got her Juniper font here. And now I'm going to tap my arrow, and then I'm just going to grab one of the blue, you see the blue dots around it. I think maybe they're called handles. I know that's a handle, but anyway, just going to make it a little bigger. And then we'll go ahead and I'm going to take that word my, and because I want all of this caps, I'm going to have it all my text is going to be very similar. So I'm just going to swipe to the left and hit duplicate. And then I'm going to tap one of those layers, grab my selection tool and slide that down. And then the same thing, you can just come up, you can tap up here and say edit text, double tap, and we're going to change that to, so I want to say my, and we're not going to use the word heart, but we're going to have heart. And then we're going to change this to is on. And I prefer to have my text on different layers for this because it gives me a little bit more freedom to move things around and do them like I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe to the left one more time and say duplicate. Tap the arrow. I'm going to move that down again. And we're going to say edit text. I'm going to double tap to get all of that selected. And we're going to say that field, F-I-E-L-D. And to think that one through. Okay. Well, that kind of really got small. So you're probably having a hard time seeing what I'm working on. All right. Now I'm just gonna, it's not really necessary, but just for my own peace of mind, I'm going to go ahead and reorder those. So we have my at the top, is on that field. Not necessary. It's just for my own personal preference. And then we're going to go ahead and for the text, I'm going to take and I'm going to swipe on each of the text layers to the right. And then I'm going to group my text layers. And this is just going to be to keep these text layers all in one group. And you'll see as we go through this process, I have a couple things that we're going to do with the text. So it just makes it a little easier to have them all grouped together. Okay. Now, before I go any further, the reason it's shrinking that down is because this text box is super wide. So you can just grab the little dots and you can make that a little smaller on each one of them. And then it'll quit edit text. So you can see this text box is super wide. So you can just drag that in and then it'll quit reducing the size of your full canvas each time you want to manipulate this stuff here. So same thing. I'm going to do that here. Okay, now make this bigger so you can see it and so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to move my again and get that like I want it. I am going to go ahead and make that text box just a little smaller because it's just not necessary to have it that big. I didn't mean to do that. Grab the arrow tool so I can move this around now. And I have my snapping on, and so it's making things kind of click, the magnetic, so I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to change this to freeform because I want my to just be a little wider for the top one here. So make it just a little wider. And don't worry, I'm going to show you how to add the black outline here in just a second. All right, so my heart, and then let's move to is on. And I'm going to move this over to the side. And I am going to make this one a little bigger as well. Is on that field. Same thing. I'm going to make it bigger. And this is, we may have to adjust this just in a minute as well. You're kind of losing where I have it white. You could change the color of it if you wanted to so that you could actually see. I kind of have an idea, and when we add this outline, you'll be able to see everything, and then we can adjust them too. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to and we are going to swipe to the left, duplicate that layer. I'm going to go, so now we have my 2 times. I'm going to go to the my that is underneath that top my, and we're going to tap on the A to edit the text. I am going to go ahead and double click to highlight it. So you get the blue line behind it. Then we're going to say edit style. And I'm going to change the outline and I'm going to change the color to black. All right, I know that was a lot and we went through it pretty quickly, but we're going to do it again and then you'll get the hang of it. So I'll try to get that layer off, get that off so you can see. So you can see now we have the black outline behind you can make this any color. This is just what I have. And as long as these are, so this is 2 layers, so I'll turn that off and you can see now it just created the outline layer. So that's what you have. So you have my on 2 different layers to create that. We're going to do the same thing for is on. I'm going to tap it, swipe to the left, hit duplicate, and then we're going to go to the one underneath, tap the A, edit text. I'm going to just double tap so that it selects all the letters. Come down to the bottom, edit style, and right here you'll see the outline button, this little O here. Tap that. I'm going to come up to the color and I'm going to change that to black. You know, if you don't have the game day color palette, I didn't think about that. You're just going to go to disc, and then when you want to change the color, you can change it to any color. But if you have your disc open on your color palette and then you double tap close to the bottom, close to the black, it will go ahead and select true black for you. So we have, get all that off. My heart is on, and now same thing there is, if we kind of zoom in on it, you can see we've got the outline behind it, and there's 2 layers for that one. We're gonna swipe to the left, duplicate, select the bottom layer, tap that A, edit text, double tap so that I can have it all selected. Down at the bottom, edit style, we're gonna turn on the outline, and I am going to change the color to black. All right, now I'm gonna move this so that we can just see everything a little better. Now that you have the black outline, you can see at the bottom a little better. And if you were having trouble, you could change the text color. You can also come in, you can change your background color, and that's gonna help you see what you're working on as well if you're having trouble seeing that white standing off of that white background. So that's an option too to help if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and change it back to white. When you double tap, that's an undo. 3 fingers go redoes, and 2 fingers is the undo when you double tap on your screen. So those handles it got a little wide again, and that's why it kind of keeps shrinking back down. All right, I'm going to tap on the selection tool. And if you need to move anything around at this point, you can do so when you want to move. So if you wanted to move that field, you just want to make sure that you have both layers selected. And to do that, you're just going to select one of them, and then you'll swipe to the right, and now it has both of them selected. When you tap on your selection tool, if you want to make it a little bit wider, you can do so. You can move it just a little, and it will apply your changes to both your outline layer and your fill layer at the same time. So for instance, if I only had one layer selected, so I just have is on, that is going to be that fill layer. So if I try now to come in and do something, you can see it's not adjusting both the outline layer and the fill layer. So I'm going to 2-finger tap to undo. And if you wanted to adjust both of them, you would just need to make sure you have both layers selected. So have your one selected and swipe to the right. And now you can easily adjust both the outline and that fill layer. And then same thing on my. So just play with it. I'm going to switch it to uniform because I do want to make it a little wider on this one. Okay, so I think that looks good. And now what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of a shadow behind the my heart is on that field. Okay. And the way that we're going to do that is I'm going to take this heart, and I'm going to, because I'm thinking of it as part of the text for this. So I'm going to take and I'm going to drag it up in between my is. And now we're going to take this text layer, and we're going to swipe to the left, duplicate. So now we have that 2 times. And I'm going to tap on this bottom layer right here. And then we're going to say flatten. All right. Then we are going to tap again. We're going to hit alpha lock. And we are going to change to black for the color. Again, I selected it from there, but all you have to do is just double tap close to that and then tap again and say fill layer. So I'm going to turn off this top layer so you can see what happens. So we have all of this now is solid black, and then we have our layer on top of it. Again, on this bottom layer, I'm going to tap the image here again, and we're going to say alpha lock off. We're going to go up to this. Before I do this, I want to show you, and I'm still getting my notifications. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see what is going to happen. All right, we're going to tap this layer, the one that we made all black. We turned the alpha lock back off, tap that magic wand here, and we're going to say adjust the, I always say this wrong, so if I don't say it right, sorry about that. Gaussian blur. And now you're going to tap your pencil on the screen and you're just going to adjust this to what you like. So you can see it's, hopefully you can kind of see on the screen here, it's got this shadow back behind it. And the further you go with it, the wider that shadow is going to be. And I'm not picking up my pencil. You can see here where we're adjusting it by sliding our pencil to the left and right on our screen. But I haven't ever picked it up. And I'm going to set that Gaussian blur maybe to about 5% for this. You can adjust it a little more if you want to. I'm going to make sure I still have that layer selected. And then I'm going to go back to my arrow tool and I'm just going to pull this down a little bit. And now kind of created this little shadow under it, but I don't want it to be quite so hard. So I'm just going to tap on that same underneath layer, the end here, and I'm going to turn down the opacity a little bit. And this is just a personal preference on how much you like it, and how much you like it blurred and all of that, but it just helps it to stand out just a little bit. And that's it. Now you have your design. I'm going to show you one more little thing. If you had selected a different color, like maybe your team color was blue and you wanted to adjust the heart color, I'm going to go up to the heart layer here and I'm going to show you if you tap on this magic wand and then your hue and saturation, you can come down and you can adjust your hue and saturation and you could get a different color of your heart. So just a little fun extra thing you can do. All right, two-finger tap to get that back. Now, if you have your design like you want it, you are wanting to export it so that you can print it on a shirt, a bag, a sticker, something like that, you are going to tap your layers. You're going to turn off this background layer. And then you're going to tap your wrench tool and you're going to say share. And we're going to export this as a PNG image. A PNG image is going to leave the area around your design transparent so that when you print it on something or you have it printed on something, it's not going to have that white box back behind it. And once you have done that, you can now navigate to wherever you want to save this to. If you're wanting to save your image to your Dropbox file, wherever you're wanting to save that, if you want to rename the file, you just tap here. And then you can say Mama Design. That's not a very good name, but whatever you want that, you tap done. And I'm going to hit cancel, but that would save the design to whatever folder you select to save that. So I hope that you guys had a lot of fun with this, and I cannot wait to see you guys get creative and do your own kind of designs with this. Okay, so my favorite part of these lessons is getting to see what you create. And of course, we're turning this one into the challenge, so here's the details on that. You're going to use at least one element from the provided clip art pack to create your own sports mama or just everyday #1 fan mama design. Between February 2nd and 9th, you're going to share your watermarked design in the Peachy Designs Facebook group using the hashtag Mama Design Challenge. And again, I'm going to have all of this linked below. One person will be picked at random to win a $25 Amazon gift card. I will announce the winner on February 10th inside of the Facebook group, and I'll send out an email announcing that winner as well. And if you're watching this after the challenge has ended, no worries. Share what you made anyway, and just jump in the next one. We're doing one of these every month. If you love this project, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future lessons. And if you want more clip art like this, come join me in the Peachy Clip Art Club for new themed bundles every month. Or if you're wanting to learn more about Procreate, check out my Procreate Essentials course for beginners if you're ready to dive a little deeper into Procreate. Thanks so much for creating with me today, and I cannot wait to see what designs you come up with.